You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Total Divas After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Total Divas After Show.
Hello, everyone, and happy Monday, and welcome to, is my microphone working? AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Total Divas, Season 2, Episode 7, Flirting with Fandango. Ooh, I would love to be flirting with Fandango myself.
Yeah, she screwed it up.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I am Kaori Takee, and I am going to introduce my lovely panel. I've got Danielle Pascente right next to me.
Hello.
And next to her is Charlotte Broadbent.
Hi.
I always try to say your name with that little accent, Broadbent, but it's actually Broadbent.
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
There you go.
That was good.
Oh, okay.
Really good.
Now say my name with that accent.
Rosenberg.
Nice.
Good.
That was good.
Christian
better.
Rosenberg. Can you say his name? Introduce
Christian
him.
Rosenberg.
Thank you. It sounded better from Charlotte in that regard.
I was trying to be British there. I'm not as British anymore.
How do you become un-British?
I have to. I speak faster now.
Oh, so that makes you
If
more
I speak
English?
slower,
Un-American?
yeah.
Huh.
Americans have a lazy way of talking.
Oh,
I think.
was that
I
a
know. I
diss?
should have just said that.
Wow.
But because they drop
Let the
their
hate
T's.
mail
followers
begin.
this week.
No, but they drop their T's, and to speak more British, I have to British. I
But
have
you
to
guys
speak
dropped the
slower.
R.
What are you walking about?
Well,
What accent was that?
That was just me forgetting T's.
it sounded like Willy Wonka
Thank you.
wants chocolate or something.
That's what I was going for. I was going for Wonka wanting chocolate from his own factory.
So, guys, let's get into this show. But before we do, overall thoughts. Yes, nay, bad, awful, great. Ooh, wow.
I felt like this was finally my first episode where I felt bad for the guys.
Really?
Like from the guy perspective, I felt bad for Fandango and John.
This is the first time you felt bad for them?
Well, like as far as like a whole episode type deal, it's just like, wow, these guys got a raw deal.
I do not feel bad for Fandango.
Girl
I
power.
don't think he cares.
Yeah, Fandango doesn't.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, to an extent. We'll get into it.
We will get into it. We will get into it. I thought it was a pretty good episode. I thought there's a lot to talk about, so
Definitely.
let's do it. So the show opens with Brie looking up at brides magazines, and basically she's ready to plan her wedding. And
She's in full force.
she's in full force. She even wants to practice how they
Bridezilla is
kiss.
loose.
She wants to figure out and plan how they are going to have their wedding kiss.
I think that was a little
Is
bit of
that
a
normal?
joke. I think that was a little bit
Some
of a
people
joke.
I
do
feel
it.
like you should.
No, I think some
wanted
people
like
do
a
it.
dramatic kiss.
See, there you
Some
go.
people do
Right?
it for the picture purpose of what's it going to look
Well,
like in
yeah.
a snapshot when we do it. But I totally know people that practice it out.
See? Rosie's like, what?
I would never do it, but
I would.
you would.
See?
I'm just gonna go in and be like, hey, you married it, so learn to love it. Here we go.
So Charlotte wants to be dipped, maybe.
Yes,
You totally want like the swing.
Most definitely. Like the dramatic first, it's like your first kiss as a married couple.
And everyone's watching.
Yeah. That's the bit I feel awkward about. Like
Yeah.
my mom, like. What,
I know. I don't ever want my dad seeing me kiss or
Right?
even hold hands or even sit next to a guy on a couch.
Well, you're
you
getting
know?
married, so hopefully
I know.
he knows.
But I
knows
get
I do
what
more.
you mean, though.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm like his little girl, and I'm like, no, Dad, I don't know any of that stuff. I still watch cartoons on Saturday mornings, you know.
I'm still innocent.
Yeah,
it's
that's
okay.
what I want him to believe. But yeah. So Brie embarks on planning her wedding, and of course she's got Nikki, her twin sister, to help her out. But you know, Nikki's not really
not.
helping because Nikki's late to her bride her dress
Try-on.
Try-ons,
Yeah.
yes. Her dress try-ons. And then Nikki wants to wear something kind of slutty or provocative as the maid of honor. There's just a lot of things going on. And then Nikki doesn't want to help her with her wedding invitations that are made out of wood. Of course.
Are we surprised?
Yeah, there's no shock there at all.
I thought Nikki's comment was really funny. Wait, you don't want to be cutting down trees.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I can see what you mean.
No, well, there's this thing called recycling. And that's what we did.
Yeah, and Brie wants to talk about it everywhere. She even goes to the gym with her sister and John and Bryan Danielson. I have to say his full name or I get completely confused. And Nikki gets annoyed because Brie keeps saying, hey, could you come here for a second? I want to talk about this in this wedding, that about this wedding. And Nikki says, yo, like, if you're not gonna
shut up,
exactly, work out.
They're at the gym. It's just an awkward place to bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we go get lunch afterwards and talk about it? Why are you bringing it up at the gym? That's the only thing that bugged me.
Because the cameras are at the gym. That is why.
Yeah. Totally produced. Like, okay, so now, Brie, you're gonna go up to her and you're gonna ask her this.
I feel like you could even see her smirking when she was doing it.
She's like, here we go again.
I would totally have been mad as well. If I was Nikki, it's like, dude, let me work out. Let me get these squats in.
But
right?
But you know, like basically what it comes down to is that Nikki gets pissed because she feels that Brie is asking too much from a woman who is too busy, who her schedule is just ridiculous. And I thought that was a little pompous of her to say.
Yeah.
Completely.
Because it's her sister, first of all, and Brie also has a very busy schedule.
Yeah, how's Nikki's schedule busier than Brie's?
Right.
They're together.
Right.
They're the Bella twins.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to be late to the fitting.
Yeah.
That was just so rude.
I will say, because I have a sister that I'm really close with, I was really annoyed by Nikki in this episode. I would want my sister there every step of the way. She better be on time to the dress trying on. She better help me mail invitations.
But wouldn't you want to be there for your sister?
Yeah.
Of course. It wouldn't even cross my mind not to be. So I didn't think she did a good job as sister and maid of honor.
I agree.
Not gonna fly for my wedding.
And even the fact that
Just put it out there.
her maid of honor dress, she really wants to stand out and be provocative and sexy. And when Brie wanted something more delicate, more, you know, Brie's
more wedding-ish.
Yeah, more
Those dresses
classy.
weren't even like the low cut.
It was a
the
cocktail
first
dress.
One, I was like,
kind of.
I don't even think I would wear that to a nice event.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, I mean, it was nice. She looked good, but it wasn't like, wow.
Right.
Which is what you want at your wedding. You want your bridesmaid dresses to be like, wow, they look so nice.
Yeah.
You know?
And
I
classy.
thought, and when she came out in the final dress, I was like, wow.
Exactly.
That's really, like, that's perfect.
And she wasn't happy with that with that dress, and I'm thinking, dude, Brie just wants you to look great for her wedding, you know? And Nikki was thinking, oh, I've heard about this before, brides that want their bridesmaids not to look so good.
Yeah.
No, we just don't want the maid of honor to look like a slut and take all the attention away from the bride.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said it, but yeah.
Yes, I said it.
Yeah, it's the bride's day. Of course, she wants all the attention. Duh. It's her wedding day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you guys were saying, Nikki wasn't full. I'm on Brie's side when it comes to this because Brie only has this once in her lifetime, hopefully.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Touch
And
wood, right?
she wants to have this event
Such those
perfect.
invitations.
Yeah. Wood invitations.
Why not?
Why not?
I wonder how much each one cost.
Probably not a lot because it's recyclable, correct?
Yeah, it was recyclable,
Oh.
so yeah, I'm guessing they.
Only 99 cents.
I'm guessing they got a deal on them.
Really?
Well, wait, wasn't there an episode where Brie was telling Daniel or Brian or whatever? You got me confused now. That
my
like she was
fault.
spending like a lot of money, like $1,400, something like that, on invitations. Didn't we see that?
They were
that's right.
expensive.
That's right. You did say, not you, but Brie did mention something about the price of those
So
invitations.
hopefully this was the like alternative decision that they came up with. That Brian's like, no, we're not going to spend that much money. We're gonna get this, and they cost $1 an invitation.
And that's the thing. It's funny because Nikki's so different, and Nikki's talking about, well, I don't understand why I have to help you out because you can just pay someone to make these wedding invitations for you. And Brie's talking about, well, look, you're my sister. I want to have some bonding time with you. There's nothing wrong with arts and craft with your sibling.
No, and it's like, do you not want to help her?
Yeah.
Such an exciting time, like to make. I would love to be someone's maid of honor.
But it's
Yes.
All my friends, listen.
but it's time
You have a
away.
lot of maid of honors.
It's time away from not getting to look at John Cena's abs.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she wants to do
Yeah.
it.
And she was like, on my off day, all I want to do is have a glass of wine. And it's like, that.
Hey, you know what?
Help her.
So
This,
selfish.
this is also Bree's only off day, and she's running
Yes.
around doing a million things.
Bree's running around. She picks up her mom, and then she has this talk about her mom, how she pretty much was upset and got in a fight with Nikki. And then her mom puts a little perspective and says, well, maybe Nikki's just upset because she might never, ever have this moment herself. And Brie feels bad. And at the end of the episode, Brie apologizes to Nikki. And Nikki, instead of saying, I'm sorry too, says,
really
I
bugs
accept
me.
your apology. Yes, it bothered me.
Yeah, so
Seriously bothered me.
So the one that should not apologized,
Yes.
and then the one that should have apologized did not.
And she just accepted the
And
apology.
she's saying,
She's like,
in
"All right,
a
we're
Nikki
cool."
way, I accept. And it's like,
It's pretty clear how their sisterly relationship is, though.
Yeah.
It's always going to work like that. Bree's always going to have to apologize to Nikki, I feel like, because she's stubborn. And she didn't even say, by the way, she didn't even admit at that moment that it was about, oh, well, I might not be able to get
You're
married
right.
someday. She never said that. So I don't even think that's what it was about.
I
And
think
she was
well,
just being selfish.
She said it jokingly after she accepted the apology, but it wasn't like a thing in this episode
Yeah.
for her. So
And then they give awkward hugs.
yeah, what was that?
yeah.
I mean, they're almost 30, right? And they can't hug each other, and they're twin sisters. They're probably hugging each other in the womb. That was weird.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching myself try to hug a girl when I was like in 5th grade.
Where it's like smashed
It's like,
Yeah.
Then it's the awkward, like, side hug. It's like,
yeah.
just hug.
Yeah.
Why aren't you hugging?
Yeah, it was just really weird. So for this particular storyline, I am Team Brie.
Team Brie,
Team
all
Brie.
the way.
No.
Yeah.
She wasn't even a bridezilla, at least in my opinion.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
She's
But-
stressed because she's not getting help from the person who's supposed to be helping her.
Yeah, her
Right.
twin sister, who should be the most epic, maid of honor, was maid of honorzilla.
There we go.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Hashtag maid of honorzilla. Done.
Perfect.
Basket. Was that the hashtag basket?
Yeah.
That was like a month ago.
Well, we're bringing it back
Still like it.
for this episode.
Hashtag basket.
So let us know what kind of Zilla you think Nikki is. Did you agree with Nikki? Do you agree with Brie? Let us know what you think of this after show of Total Divas by going to iTunes and checking us out, dropping comments.
5 stars.
Do you hear that whisper? Yes. That is what he wants you to do. So
good
go
to
and
have you
do that.
back.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, because last week I was in your chair and Danielle was in my chair, so she did the creepy 5
You
stars
did?
whisper.
I did.
Oh, can you do it right now?
It's really creepy. 5 stars.
Oh my gosh.
She does it slower than me, so it exudes my creepiness
It's
because
not-
it takes more time.
I'm just trying to
Slightly
be creepy.
sexier coming from Danielle, though.
Well, that's not a shock.
I got that going for me.
So yes, 5 stars. Please leave a comment. Keep the conversation going, as well as on YouTube. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Trinity and her issues. Did you guys just play footsies?
Yeah.
Why, yeah. So I said sorry.
Hey, what happens under the desk stays under the desk.
I hear like, I'm sorry, guys.
Awkward, I'm sorry. Should have just not said anything.
It's like, sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Exactly. So Trinity and John are in bed. John wants to have some nookie time, but Trinity is not about it because she's a little nervous because she skipped her birth control pills. And initially she's kind of upset that John didn't remind her. And I thought that was kind of weird because I don't know how you can remind a man to remind you of anything personally.
Yeah.
It's like set an alarm clock.
Yeah. Sorry, Rosie. Rosie's like, what?
No, in this situation, I agree with you.
Okay.
In this situation.
Okay. But, Trinity's freaking out because she's got her career. It's almost at the peak, and she's not ready to have children. I find out that John has 2 children.
When did that happen?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They're pretty cute,
That was a shock
too.
to me. I had
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he's got 2 kids apparently.
And, they're like almost teenagers too.
Yeah, they're
right?
old. They look like 10-ish.
Around 9, 10, I would think. So that we find out, and it was like, by the way, this happened, and then we're going back to this.
Side note, you might have never known in his 4+ year WWE career and the 2 seasons on the reality show, but he's got 2 kids.
Yes. And, you know, that fine. So that means that Trinity is a stepmom. I didn't know that either, obviously.
Oh, wow. I never thought of it. Like, yeah. And they've never once showed the kids, correct? On either season.
Not even at the wedding. I don't think I noticed them.
Right.
Huh. You think maybe the flower kids or
Or maybe like the ring bearer or something like that.
Yeah, something. Well, anyway, so John has 2 kids, Revelation.
Yeah.
And Trinity does not want to have her own children with John at this time. She wants a couple years, but she doesn't want to tell John that she is planning on getting injected with some kind of, I don't know, stick.
Yeah, I call it a stick.
It's like a device.
Yeah.
By the way,
inside
I've
your
never
body.
seen that before. Have you?
I've heard of it before, but
I have too, and it's like, I don't know where I know this from, but it's like this big. Is that 2
Yeah,
inches?
no, that's about right.
2 inches.
And it's,
Yeah, those of you
but it's
listening,
thin.
2
yeah,
inches.
sorry, and it's pretty thin, and it just goes into your arm. But I think you can feel it.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah,
you
like
can
I've
feel
heard
it right
that,
under
and
the skin.
when you, like, especially when you flex,
yeah, it would make sense that you can feel it, and that's why I thought it was strange that she went for that alternative.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it, but she's a wrestler. She's very physical, so
Yeah, something could happen and she could get cut on the arm, and couldn't that thing just bloop, fall out?
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I think
If it's
it's pretty-
surfacey enough to feel it.
I think, like, you can't see it. Obviously.
no, you can't, but you
Right.
can
No,
No,
feel
but if you push
it.
down, you'll feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel it. I thought it was strange that she was
Kind of a dumb mock-up.
I thought it was strange that she was having this conversation with Ariane in the back seat and Eva Marie in the front seat. I'm like, of all divas, you choose to talk to this with Eva Marie?
Yeah.
Well, if there's someone who's great with honesty, it's Eva Marie. So I thought it was perfect fitting. And then if there's someone with a stable relationship, it's Ariane.
Yeah, right.
So this was just a recipe for
Oh,
disaster.
I think that relationship's stable, don't you?
They argue.
I
all
guess-
the
Vinny and
time.
Ariane?
Well,
We'll see next
I like
episode.
it. True. I like them.
They're a wreck, but in a good way? Question mark. But Trinity decides to get this device and not tell John. She goes with her mom and does a procedure, and I'm surprised that she did it. I didn't think it would
shocked.
happen.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna back out and be like, "Yo, John, this is what happened. I want to do this," but no, she did it, and then she doesn't tell John. And she goes to the wrestling practice place, and John comes by, and then he sees that she's wearing that purple Band-Aid recovering thing. And
It's my new ring gear. It's part of my gear.
yeah,
She's like, oh, this old thing?
yeah. And then she finally fesses up. Well, not really at first. She was like, do you remember the time I told you that I was going to go do this or thinking about it? And he's like, no, I don't remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I don't recall us ever having that conversation.
Exactly. And then she fesses up, and he's upset. Understandably so.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Now that they're married, he kind of nailed it. Now that they're married, you talk about this stuff with each other. Like, I get that you're comfortable talking about it with your mom, but at the same time, she talks to Eva Marie and Ariane about it. You would think she would have gone to John first out of anyone.
Over Eva Marie. I keep saying that because it just puzzled me that.
And John put it perfectly at the end of the episode. He's like, if I went and got a vasectomy without you knowing, how would you feel?
It's
Yeah.
different. That's different.
Well, no, because I mean, it's preventing from having
but
kids
that's
just like this.
forever.
But you can get it. You can reverse it.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
That just sounds, a vasectomy
Yeah,
just
right?
sounds so invasive, man.
yeah, right?
Yeah, and not like putting an implant to prevent you from having babies for 3 years.
That thing was so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a shot.
It's like, you know?
I just thought this was so staged. Like the
Really?
way
No,
that
I'm just
they're
kidding.
in bed, conveniently in bed, talking about he wants to have sex with her, and then, oh, well, I forgot to take my birth control. Conveniently, the cameras are there. Then, conveniently, he goes into the ring when she's practicing and has the purple, and I'm just like, can this be any more staged? Like, he knew. I don't know. I
The
was just like,
episodes keep
come
getting
on.
more and more staged.
Yeah, I
More
was
ridiculous,
disappointed.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was disappointed.
agree.
I was just like, oh, this isn't real.
it's becoming
Like,
more
you're not,
staged. It's becoming more staged than Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And I hate saying that, being the wrestling guru.
Yep, that
But
was good.
that's great. That was fun.
But it really is.
But
Yeah, I was really disappointed. I was like, I don't even want to watch this scene because.
okay, good. I was about to hear you say you don't want to watch the show. I'm like, how dare
no,
you?
no,
Okay.
I love Divas, but
Get
I
out.
didn't. This scene, I was just like, oh come on, just how staged it was. It wasn't like they were in the car, but she was in the just all see it for me. It was just a little too staged.
I agree.
Do you think that like he knew before then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's pretend that it's not staged. And let's talk about, do you guys agree with John or Trinity? Because John was really upset, and he wasn't so much upset that she decided to do it, but that he couldn't be there for her at the procedure.
Well, not even be that, just the fact that she did something that's a big deal without talking to him about it first.
But, okay, I think I agree with John that she should have told him, but he shouldn't be upset that she's on birth control because
Right. See, that's what I didn't
Yeah.
agree with. It's like, what, John, you want her to give up her career right now and have kids?
like why are you acting surprised about that aspect
Yeah.
when she was just talking about she's been on birth control pills? She just wants an easier way to
Right.
deal with that.
Yeah.
But he did say he wanted kids right then and there.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Yep.
like, yeah, I want kids right now. But at the same time, he should respect that she doesn't
Exactly.
want them.
And
for
and
her.
you would think this conversation would have happened before
Before
they
you
got married.
Yeah, that's
the-
true.
Yeah.
He already
And
has
how
two.
long have they been together?
At least a
long
couple years.
Time.
Yeah.
And they're only just talking about this?
Yeah.
That's why I agree with you. I think this whole thing was kind of staged. I'm team John in the sense that I wanted her to tell him, but I think she did. Trinity seems like the most mature one. I feel like she would have thought to tell him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Trinity's so responsible and always the voice of reason
Yeah.
on this show that when something like this happens, you're thinking, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what threw me off because as mature as she is, this episode made me like not mad, but disappointed
Yeah.
in her. But again, we know how staged this thing was for
Yes.
crying out loud.
Yes. Well, let's talk about something that may or may not be staged.
Was.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
So Summer Rae is back in this episode, and she
Yeah.
is really upset because she found out that one of her exes is engaged, and
Another
that's the
one
third
of her
one.
exes, yeah.
Right. That's her third ex.
Obviously, it's a running thing that she just doesn't get the ring.
Yes.
Time to ask herself a question, maybe?
Oh, Charlotte.
And
Kind of
apparently,
mean, but maybe it's true.
So true. I'm sorry.
And
but
apparently,
yeah.
she feels like
Yeah.
she's on that. A few years ago, Dane Cook had a movie that was terrible. That it was like this comedy where he has some power somehow. Where if he has sex with a girl, then the very next guy that girl dates, they marry.
Yeah.
So this is almost like the reverse thing. She's like, oh, now the ex-boyfriend, and now that we break up, and then he finds his wife,
And
she's like, I want mine.
she wants her, so she goes and has brunch with the girls. Suddenly she's homies with all of the girls, which I thought was kind of weird. And the girls say, hey, there's nothing wrong with dating your coworker. Brie talks about how she met Danielle Bryan with the storyline.
I did love how they brought in the fact that it started as a storyline.
Yeah.
With Brian and Brie, because it was actually hilarious when you look back at it. So it was a storyline where all of a sudden Daniel Bryan was starting to get noticed. He was the United States champion, which is kind of like the mid-level champion in WWE. And all of a sudden they were doing this thing where all the girls seemed to find him really attractive, and like the commentators and other wrestlers were like, why? Why do you find this guy attractive? Like, he's the nerd, he's short, blah blah blah. And Brie and Nikki storyline were having like a fight to try to win his affection. But in the end, all of a sudden, they run into another diva that was there at the time named Gail Kim. And Daniel Bryan in one show was, oh yeah, I mean, well, Gail's my girlfriend. And they're just like, what? Blah, 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 blah. And then they started feuding a little bit, and then that story ended. But literally like a week or two after that announcement happened on Raw, all of a sudden photos started leaking of Daniel Bryan with Brie.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, now we got to axe this story all together. We can't have Gail seen with Daniel Bryan because all the stuff is
Obviously
out
they're
there with
not.
him and Brie.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is it was time-stamped as 2010, and I'm thinking, man, so much has happened for them up until this point. It's amazing. It's great. So now Summer Rae starts thinking, Fandango, because the girls are even saying, Fandango's kind of hot. Your partner's kind of, hot.
And they had like bonus footage that was not aired. There was 2 different scenes about Natty talking about how attractive she finds Fandango.
Really? I'm so proud that you watched that too.
Someone sent it to me, and I just watched it. Like, they're both like a minute each. One of them is her in the gym with Ariane saying that she had a dream that Fandango kissed him.
No.
Yeah.
Where did you see this?
This is like the bonus footage that was not aired on the episode. It's on their YouTube page.
Oh, okay.
And Natty's just like, yeah, I know it's just weird that I had that. And then all of a sudden there was another scene where she's like hanging out backstage with Summer and Fandango, and Fandango's like stop staring at me.
That's
That
funny.
deal.
Well, in the previous was it last season where Natty was trying to make TJ jealous by having Fandango
Yeah,
wrestle with her?
Yeah.
Fandango's kind of cute.
he is. I think so.
And I love how they call him Fandango throughout and not his real name. They're
Not
like,
Johnny.
I'm just Fandango, guys,
And
they do.
that's the mystery of the show, of why half of the people go by their WWE name and the other half go by their legitimate name. It makes no sense.
So Summer Rae's thinking, you know what, I'm getting older and I do need to start dating. And maybe I can get along with Fandango because we have the same career and it might work out. So she passive-aggressively, but not passive-aggressively, asks him out on a date.
Yeah,
It was weird.
It was really weird.
And he picks her up in his limo? Question mark. It was kind of a weird.
I think it was an Uber.
You were driving.
I was driving.
And she's dressed up to the nines, looking great and sexy as usual. And Fandango's looking, roll out of bed look. That's my look. I love when guys look like that.
I liked that look
Yes.
versus what his other look going.
Yeah.
With the no shirt and
Well, yeah.
slicked hair.
What do you think of his WWE look?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Personally, like when I saw him in the car, I was like, whoa, you just became 100% more attractive to me
Yeah.
than you ever have before.
He did.
Yeah.
I think he's hot either way.
Either way.
I don't know.
No, he looked great, and he takes her to a bar that's something that's out of Summer Rae's, comfort zone, which is very low
Margaritas
key.
in a
like a dive
jar.
bar.
Or
Yeah,
whatever.
it was
Yeah,
like
margaritas
mason
out of a
jar.
jar, which is awesome.
Yeah, out of a mason jar, which I loved as well.
Yeah.
And
That's Nikki and that's Brie and Brian's kind of thing.
Totally.
so he's like talking to her, and she's trying to really get signals from him. She's being super flirtatious, huge signals, and he was asking questions like, "Why do you want to know so much about my life?" Like, are you really
She's
that
the most
stupid?
awkward person ever. Like this
really
I'm sorry.
awkward to
This
watch.
entire episode, I'm just like, stop talking. You have to stop. Like, it was over the top.
It
Over
was really
the top.
awkward to watch, and he was obviously like, "Huh? Like, what are you talking about? Like, stop."
Yeah.
Until she took a shot, and he's like, "All right, you can take shots." And then they go back to his place and take more shots and get drunk. And
She bends over on the
Gosh.
fridge.
he's putting his hand on her butt like a table or whatever.
Right?
Or by the fridge when she
By the
bends
fridge,
over.
yeah.
And he's like,
And then
awkward,
they
awkward.
sit on the couch, and she just
And then she
jumps on him.
for the
dives.
kill.
She dives.
She literally dives and cut the commercial break and come back. She's like on top of him.
She's diving. Now he's like adjusting her to just be straddling him.
Yes.
And then they have their hands in each other's faces, be like, "What happened?"
Oh, it was more like she got off of him and
It was
said,
her. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
she's
her.
Like, what did I do? Like, that was awkward. It's
like,
like,
I didn't
yeah, it was
feel-
awkward to watch too.
I didn't feel
Yeah.
any attraction in that kiss.
and I don't think he felt attraction too. He just wanted to bone.
correct.
Yeah, I think
He
in
would've went
Can
through
you
it.
blame the
I
guy?
understand. That's why I think so.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't because she's so drunk. Even at that state of being so drunk, she stopped herself.
You spend that whole night flirting with him. You jump on him, and then you're like, nah, this was a mistake.
Yeah.
But once you have sex, it's like there's no going back. And when you work together, if you don't feel it, that's weird. I can see why she wanted to like stop that.
See, I agree with that, but she was super drunk.
Yeah.
Well, stage super drunk.
Yeah,
but-
yeah,
Right.
she did seem.
Yeah, so I was just surprised that it ended, and she was saying, "Oh my God, it's like kissing my brother. We have no chemistry. The kiss sucked." And
I don't
Explain
know.
and like kissing my brother. Like, do you know what it's like to kiss your brother? Because that's really disturbing if you do.
she's just saying, like,
I know, but that's a horrible comparison.
I'll tell you what, Fandango. If you want to kiss me, I will never say that.
Her boyfriend might say something else.
I might go further than that, you know. And my boyfriend might say something else, but
Never mind.
never mind. Just take that back. Rewind. Delete. So
Fandango and I are just gonna go to a bar and look for girls. That's that. We're just gonna go out.
she apologizes, and you know, Fandango and her have a little talk backstage, make sure everything's cool, everything's cool and kosher, and that's it.
I think that was my favorite part of the episode.
It was
Is when they talked about it.
really.
He's like, so you're just using me?
Well, and
Is
he
that what he
goes,
said?
so
Something
you
like-
got on top of me and stuck your tongue down my throat, which was my favorite part. And she kind of cut him off at that point, but the way she made it seem was just, this is a mutual thing. We don't want to be together. This was awkward. And he's like, Summer, you stuck your tongue down my
Yes.
Summer, I
was
didn't
just
do
so funny.
anything.
So I have a question for you, specifically, because
Okay.
right now there's a storyline in WWE where Fandango and Summer are not together anymore.
Right.
And they're even tweeting each other jokingly, like, you know,
not-
mean messages.
It's
and
not
stuff.
me, it's you. Is
Yeah,
what
things
Fandango
like
tweeted.
that. Do you think that it has to do with this storyline?
Not at all.
Okay.
No, it has absolutely nothing to do with that. She had to leave to film Marine 4.
So, do you think that's? I don't know. I just wonder. Yeah, that's it.
Nah.
So, anyway,
Sorry to shut that down, but no, it has nothing to do with it.
it just would add more flavor if that was the case. But also, this is probably a little stage 2. I can just imagine them saying,
And this was months ago.
"Yeah,
You know, prior
But
to
they know when
I-
it's going to be released.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true."
Well, they do things kind of out of order.
Charlotte's
They do
smart.
things a little out of order.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Charlotte's very smart.
So they may have filmed this, like, who knows, 8-9 months ago or 1 or 2 months ago, the end of filming. But it's perfect timing when their WWE storyline is splitting that they would put something like this out that shows that they had this awkward encounter.
Especially for, you know, viewers.
But-
Just an observation.
No, again, but if it was like that, then we wouldn't have gotten that scene at the end. It would have just been when she left the apartment.
No, I don't think it matters.
No, because then we wouldn't have had the mutual joking back and forth thing, because their tweets, as far as the story in WWE, is all just them pretty much yelling at each other over Twitter.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm kind of with Charlotte in that sense, because viewers who possibly watch Total Divas and not so much wrestling would be like, oh, maybe that's why, you know, and that's just it. Because even though they made up on the show, they could have it recycle itself.
Well, people who watch
in WWE.
well, people who only watch Total Divas have no idea that they broke up on WWE.
Maybe they might know a little bit.
They would only know
You knew a little
because
bit.
they
didn't you?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, because
Boom.
she sits next to me. And I
Shall we
say all this
agree to
nonsense
disagree?
every week.
The knowledge aura.
It's nonsense. It's not knowledge.
brain's
It's
going
complete
through.
nonsense. It's nonsense. Everything on my mind is nonsense. Let's be honest.
But yes, favorite storyline of this episode, guys.
I think
Favorite
Summer
story?
and Fandango.
Yeah, that
for
was
sure.
interesting.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
I can't believe she just jumped on him like that. I'm
Brie.
so
She's
not that
so
kind of
aggressive.
girl.
Right.
So aggressive.
was
Yeah.
so forward.
Like, she makes me like embarrassed for her by how forward she is with him. It was just weird.
she must
But
feel
at least-
weird watching it.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe
This
not.
is her like
At
MO.
least at that point, we know maybe why she doesn't.
Have
I'm sorry.
relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm guessing you're not a
Like,
Summer
she's
fan.
like, I wonder why.
It's like,
yeah,
I
not
wonder
so much.
why. Why? It's like, oh, stop.
Pump the brakes.
Anything else, guys, on this episode that you guys want to brush up on? I'm thinking.
I'm not related to Emma, just because I saw her this episode. I just wanted to
Oh
clarify.
yeah, she was. She was.
People every week keep saying that you're related to Emma.
I'm not related to Emma.
Oh yeah, we saw her
But
this
we
week
saw
for a second.
Dance was a little awkward.
WWE diva. Well, that's her. She's supposed to be like quirky and does this awkward, almost Egyptian-like dance. She's a developmental girl that's now on the main roster, blonde. She's from Australia, so she has an accent as well. And you're from England, and you have that accent. Some people might mix the two up.
Right. Oh, definitely. And I get that because I don't sound that British anymore.
So
I'm not related to Emma.
So to clarify, she's not related to Emma, nor is she actually Emma.
Yeah, I'm not Emma either. Sorry. Sorry if that's why you were watching.
Oh no, keep watching, guys.
We're gonna
Should have
lose
said I
viewers
was
this week.
But yeah, okay, that's a good thing to brush up on, I guess. Clarification right there.
Clarification.
You guys want to move over to predictions? I don't think we have any news.
Nah, no news this week.
Predictions sound... Nah, it's not there. It's okay. We'll talk about predictions.
Prediction.
And I know for you're always like, what's the
there
deal with
is.
predictions for a reality show? But there are predictions.
I think there are predictions.
Yes. So what say you?
Well, I forgot what the preview showed.
Oh.
So I need a little reminder.
Next week is where Trinity gets hurt.
And
Oh, yeah, she gets a crunch.
and Summer tag team.
Oh, yeah. And that seems
Right?
like it ends badly.
Well, there's a story that they never teamed on TV.
But we should save that for next week, right? Talking about that.
You could talk about
Well,
predictions.
they were just saying that like they're going to like try to work as a team. At least as of yet, they haven't been on TV, but they could be working on it.
Okay.
Seems like it doesn't work out.
because
Seems like
Eva doesn't know how to wrestle.
We didn't see any Natty in this particular episode.
Not much.
Except for her saying, oh yeah, Fandango's hot. I guess that's why you went
Just
to
those
watch
bonus
the
scenes. Yeah, I needed my natty fix.
We didn't see Ariane that much either.
Because she was in the back seat
Yeah.
while Eva was in the front, which I still thought that was the strangest
Weird,
thing
yeah.
anyway.
She'll be on next week with her single question.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, the single.
Oh, I can't wait for the Chingle Chingle. Is that what it was?
Oh yes.
Chingle chingle.
How do you remember?
What do you guys think of Trinity's wrestling moves, by the way? Because we saw some of that in this episode.
I liked it.
Really
She's
good.
good, isn't
She's
she?
really good.
Oh, she's the most
I
agile
love
female
her.
wrestler in the W by far.
But she's also so entertaining to watch because
Yeah.
she's so, jumpy. Jumpy.
jumpy.
She's
Yeah.
my favorite
She was like,
diva
yeah.
on the show, and what I've seen off. I just like her. I really do.
Aw,
Yeah. We should get her on here.
we should.
Why not?
Trinity, you can come sit on this pretty couch over here.
You can. Right now it's filled with purses, but you're more than welcome.
Yeah, my
move
purse
then.
takes up a lot of room.
All right, guys. So that about wraps us up. And in the meantime, you can follow us. And starting with Rosie over there.
You can follow me on Twitter at CRosieVOC.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at CharlotteB_TV.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Danielle Elise P and on Instagram at Danielle Pascente.
And you can follow me on Twitter as well as Instagram at KAORIOUS. And you can follow the whole team here at AfterBuzz TV. And we will catch you guys next week. See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.